You're watching Fine and Dandy. Cheers.
Hi, my name's Cameron, and you need to check out the Fine and Dandy podcast.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy.
Watch the Fine and Dandy podcast. Good shit.
Hey, what's up? We're Soe, and you're watching Fine and Dandy.
Hey everyone, it's your boy Blacasso, and you're tuning in with Fine and Dandy.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy!
Bueno, sí.
The same shit. It worked out. It's cool. Just talk a little bit. I want to make sure that we're on.
Yo.
Yeah, just make sure you're pretty close proximity. Try to like project your voice just a little bit. You have a lower voice most of the time. I always try to like match it up, but it's always harder with the lower.
See what you're saying.
All right, cool. All right, ready? All right. Welcome back to another week of the Fine and Dandy podcast. Thank you guys for joining us again. As always, it's me, co-host Josh, but this week we have with us Evan Blaylock, a.k.a. 8 Souls, a.k.a. co-founder of the MMC, also known as the Mont Music Collective, which I am also a partner in as well.
Yeah.
Let's just pretend there's a soundboard here.
And that was pretty good.
Thanks, man. But yeah, how you feeling today, Evan? Doing good?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, a lot of good things are going on. Yeah, I was just talking to these fellows earlier about how just today I found a prospective producer for our organization. So I'm feeling pretty good. You know, the things that I can't control are going well, and that's when you're doing the best in life. So
I'm a newer member of the MMC, which is crazy. We can get into how that came about later, but yeah, they beat my ass, and they were like,
alcohol in a pool. It was very brutal.
yeah, they almost drowned me. Like, if you tell our secrets, fucking, you know. But yeah, I'm thankful to have found them, and you know, doing a lot of things now. We're getting a lot of things going. I kind of want to know though how like it got started initially, because I don't think I really actually know how the Mont started. I know it like the Mont's a take on like Sagemont, you know, the area that y'all are from, but
yeah, I'll give you like the full story since I know this is like a long form type of thing. So when I got out of like basic training in the military and out of tech school, I got to come home for like a little bit, like about a month or so, and like that's when I like first started mixing. And like at the end of that month, a house party at like the like house where like Distraught lives, you know. And that house party went really well. I was like mixing everything. And so from there, we kind of carried that energy forward. And then fast forward like about a year and a half from that moment. And we did this Halloween party during COVID, you know, because adolescents are such rebels. Yeah, everyone really wanted to party. In fact, I think because everyone was so charged up from not partying, it went so well that at the end of the night, like we got together to like all stay at the house, because in the morning we knew like we needed to talk, and it was like me, Everett, Chill, and Eric. And then like the next day we like basically founded the outside in the backyard. We were just like, this party was amazing. Like this was like definitely like something that we need to continue like in a focused format. But at the time we were all broke. None of us had real jobs. We were like, you know, either barely 20s or teenagers still. So we didn't really have the capability to do it like how we're doing it now. But that's how it really got formed. Yeah.
damn, that's some humble beginnings right there. Out of the backyard, though. I know the feels, dude. I mean, basically how I pretty much started throwing events, just throwing up parties. You're like, dude, hey, this is a great. It's not just like the throwing the party, because anyone can throw parties. You know what I mean? It's that feeling though. You kind of get a rush from that feeling, especially you know being a DJ too. I'm sure performing and putting it on, like that's a whole nother level of feeling that you get from that. But I just remember the rush of putting it together. Unfortunately, it was just me, and it would always end up me putting it together last minute. Also, so me rushing to get everything the day of and trying. And we had some people promise us certain things and not follow through. So Yeah.
It's a little subtext, just a slight
Yeah.
bit of subtext.
And not follow through, and so then having to account for that and just stressing out last minute, but then seeing it all come to fruition at the God damn, this
Yeah.
is the shit. Holy shit.
I think it's kind of crazy. I've gotten used to the cycle now, but essentially how it goes almost every time is it's like a rush of anxiety because it's like, oh man, like you just don't know. Like anything can happen. Like, people don't think about infinity enough, but like I do. And so essentially anything can happen until it actually happens. And, I've gotten used to it now because every single time it goes really well and it's like really good. And so I'm just I have faith now, as you could say. But, I think especially at the beginning, it's just kind of a lot to deal with. But I could feel like for you, it could be a lot more just 'cause you're doing it by yourself. And at least I have like a few people behind, like not behind me, but with me, to, like help me. And like, yeah, for all of us to like, there's just certain things that I'm not good at and so forth, so on and so forth. Like, I think at the beginning, like Chill kind of carried a lot of the parts that I'm doing now, like the organizational and like just like the promotional marketing. Like he kind of was the forefront of that. I was just like kind of just an artist. That was like all I was. Yeah, I think you doing all of that by yourself. Danny, when I think of you, I kind of think of like the White Ranger, like the Power Ranger. That's like the 6th or 7th Ranger, and it's like they're like already a Power Ranger all on their own. They're just doing it by themselves, and then like they find the other Power Rangers and kind of whoop all the asses up. But
yeah. It was funny, but I feel that it is tough. No, that's also though. I am glad that I found y'all because it honestly, I know there are some people that are just built to do it all by themselves, and as much as I have been capable of doing it by myself, it's way more work and it's way more stressful to do all those things by yourself. Like having to manage all that, keep track of everything. Like it's crazy. So we had done stuff together before, but we came back together. Funny enough. Which it's kind of a crazy story. Not that crazy, but crazy enough. I was throwing Homie Fest, the first one, right? And I was getting everything together, and I had already planned it, but I hadn't like put anything out there yet. And then Evan hits me up, and he's like, "Hey, we're throwing an event in July. No, it was June, the end of June, June 30th or 31st. Like we're throwing an event at the end of June. Do you want to like come out, whatever? We're doing that." I was like, dude, no fucking way. I'm throwing an event at the end of July. Because we took a hiatus, dude. None of us had thrown anything.
Yeah.
Since
there was the dark ages, of sorts.
Yeah, like none of us had really done anything. I think since the pool party, pretty much. But I felt like all of us wanted to, though. There was no way that was going to be the last thing that we did,
It was kind of crazy, though. I mean, I think it is objectively crazy that I think if you put it into perspective, like I think it was over a year that like nothing had really happened, and then like I hit you up. You're like, I'm also planning something and doing it like exactly a month later. Like, oh,
dude, exactly a month later, like a month from the date. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly a month later. It was.
Oh, well, I think, the answer to that question is like exactly what we were just talking about. It comes to like that hiatus, like in that hiatus, a lot of things had changed, I think, positionally. And one of the main reasons why I felt confident, like basically I hit up Eric, Baby J, as he's known in the streets. I hit him up and I asked him like, cause he's always been like the person to have not only the energy, but the resources to like support like whatever is need to be done. And he's a producer, DJ. He's like in the music, loves the music. So I knew he's like someone that I could go to. And if I have the energy, he'll match me. And I was getting out of the military, and so that meant that I was gonna have a lot more resources. And
Wait, talk a little bit. Say some of that. Sorry, it did. Wait, hold up. No, it was. It's not picking up the mic. Wait. Okay. Talk again. Talk again. Dude, it's picking up now. Yeah, it's picking up now. Wait, talk again.
Hello.
Good now.
Oh shit! So it just cut out or something? Like
Yeah. For a second there. I'm trying to think.
plug-in.
So I believe it probably just start at the beginning of Eric. I think it like around where you were talking about Eric. So
Okay, so yeah, so
the question was essentially you taking over the roles.
transition, yeah.
Yeah. So Chill had the organizational roles. Go ahead. I'll let you finish. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean basically that transition happened when I didn't have the same situation that I used to have. I was getting out of the military, so I knew I was gonna get a much better job, be making a lot more relative to what I was making, which wasn't much. And I contacted Eric because I knew out of everyone, I think just in general, when it comes to doing something like this, it just takes a lot of energy. And with the way that the world is today, people just don't have energy to spare. So I knew like out of the people that were helping me do it before, Eric was the most likely person to have energy and resources to help me. So I contacted Eric and we were able to get the energy together to want to throw an event. And then Dandy actually came into play because I remember I was looking for like a venue to throw it. And I contacted Dandy and Dandy was like, ask Sasa. And then Sasa recommended me to the Purple Hippo. And then something interesting that happened was that since we were working with the Purple Hippo, shout out Sasa. I know
he's been a real, for some reason, he's been rocking with us too.
Yeah. Shout out Sasa.
Yeah, he's been rocking with us.
He basically, because he recommended that place to us, we got in there for an affordable price and they handled a lot of the logistical things that Chill was doing. So I kind of had a nice like bridge into what would have been the managerial role before, because when it came to the first two events that we did, like kind of unofficially, it was we got a venue and we had to manage alcohol. We had to manage everything else. We just had a space to do an event. But when it's now when we're doing events, we're working with the team of people who own the venue, and these people also have their own promotion agency. So they have their own infrastructure, and so we just need to collaborate with them, and it's a lot easier when it comes to actually a lot of the more. So I'm taking over that role, and then I'm just someone who talks to people. So when it comes to like marketing and networking, I just talk to people. Apparently, people talk to me. So
I feel that though.
Yeah. So I end up just meeting a lot of people, talking and having the right conversations, and just kind of moving the plot along in my own personal way. I think just a little bit more, just in general, is like we're just lucky that a lot of people have different talents and skills that I know. So like there's just people who went to college and got professionally trained that are doing like a lot of the roles that need to be done. So that also feels.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is kind of crazy because originally, I guess this tying back into the story I was gonna tell, but Chill originally it was so I had met Chill. Funny story. It was a random Thursday night at Stereo. You remember when they used to do I don't even think they do Thursday night shows anymore.
They don't. They sold out.
Right? Yeah. Dude, they used to do the free shows on Thursday, every Thursday. Dude, yeah, I don't even think they do Sunday shows anymore. Dude, they used to do. You could go to a show literally Thursday through Sunday.
Some of my favorite shows were Thursday shows. Like,
yeah, man,
they were kind of legendary.
The vibes were cooking.
The vibes, yeah.
Yeah, dude, patio. Yeah. Sometimes just the inside closed off, just patio vibes. Free show on a Thursday. Vibes were cooking for sure.
Yeah, patio Sundays.
Vibes were cooking. So it was a Thursday night free show. There's literally like 10 people in there, bro. And I see Chill shuffling. And at the time, I didn't know how to shuffle, dude.
Legend.
Yeah. Were you there?
Damn, I'm hearing some fucking lore right now. Oh, my God.
Were you there? That's crazy. So I couldn't even tell you. No, that was a different time. Yeah. No, definitely not. Because that was Joyride. That show was Joyride. That was a sold-out show. That shit was packed.
I think I was there at that show.
Joyride, yeah, that was packed. It's okay. So this show was a free show. There was like 10 people in there. There's like nobody in there. And I see him shuffling, so I go over. I'm like, hey, man, fucking, I like you're fucking good. It's sick. I don't know how to shuffle. He's like, nah, dude, I'll show you, whatever. Kind of shows me the basics. And I'm actually not terrible now. I'm not good, but
Yeah, you can cook. I think
yeah,
you should-
you know, I can do some of the moves. And, you know, that's actually, it all started there, funny enough. But,
Oh, that's super cool.
yeah, so we just clicked instantly. Like, there's nothing else to that. Basically, like, to that story, we just clicked.
Nah, I mean, that's how it goes, like, on some universe shit, really.
Yeah, and then I really don't know what led up to. I think I invited him to the first Halloween. No, I don't think he went to the first one. I honestly couldn't even tell you what led up to the event. We're just like, let's throw something.
I don't know if he went, but he probably tracked it. He probably saw that you were doing it. I think that led him to, like, thinking about you collaborating with someone.
Yeah, and so we ended up talking about it. We're like, dude, let's throw something. And then we just kind of coordinated, and that's how the pool party came about, which I think the pool party was a birth for a lot of things. We're going to look back, I think, one day and look at that pool party and be like, holy shit.
I already do.
I still think about it,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking. There's so many people that went. There's people I've met that I didn't even know were there. There's some people who were like, dude, I was there. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, the vibes in that pool party are like almost like immortal in the sense that like there's exactly but it's like you had to be there, but it's like for those who were, they fucking won't shut the fuck up about it. I swear to God. So, but me too as well. It was like such a great time, and I feel like, you know, honestly, a lot of the people that I see today still come to our events. Like there's a handful of people, which is kind of a lot if you think about it. It's been years, who have come to like every event, and they like came from that event. It's like, and when I talk to them, they always just mention like the vibes. I know that's such a like a woke word, but like it's like a real thing. It's like what everyone's talking about when you're like doing something right, and it's like intangible. Yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy because it was like the first thing that we like really did like for real, like out of the house, collaborated with Dandy. We had motherfucking salsa opening because it was like back in the day. You know, it was retro. Yeah, it was. He killed it. I remember he played like a Little Peep homemade remix and a Juice WRLD homemade remix, and I knew from that moment after hearing that like he was gonna be successful. And I mean, honestly, you know, he's just done exactly like more than I even thought from that. You know.
You know what he told? Like, I don't know if you knew this, but when he came on the pod, like I didn't know until he mentioned it when he was on here. But that he said that was his first official time playing in front of like people at like a booked, like someone booking him.
I watched that podcast, but I don't even remember. I must have zoned out at that
Yeah.
point. It's like what?
He said like that was his first booked event.
I mean, yeah.
Like, and he played for like the
That was
open
his
decks.
first
he
event,
did
so-
open decks and shit,
But
but
that
like,
was like his first time being requested and like playing.
put on a bill.
You know, it's almost.
that not
perfect.
nuts?
It's,
Is that not
it's like it couldn't. If I had to write a plot line, like I almost couldn't write it better than that. So honestly, like it's just insane.
But yeah, that is a crazy moment to look back on and just think that was the birth of it. Because I didn't really, the first time I had met y'all was there.
Yeah.
I met y'all for the first time at the pool party. I had met Everett before. Also, crazy story. It was I.O., right?
Oh man.
And there was like, it was Everett, Jose. You know, I'm pretty sure you know Jose too, probably. It was Everett, Jose, and then this girl named Mackenzie. Kayla McKenzie. I'm sorry. I don't remember. I haven't seen her much since.
And then this girl.
Yeah, I haven't met her much since. I've met Jose quite a few times since then, and I've of course Everett.
Yeah,
I've
of course. He's
seen
in
him
there,
a lot.
yeah.
You know, I don't know. So
Michaela.
potentially, it could be neither of those. I might be butchering it. I'm sorry if I am, but it was like them three I remember specifically, and they were in a group, and I met all of them, and then Chill was like, "Yeah, this is my homie Everett." I was like, "Oh shit, we've met." And I had messaged Everett a few times back and forth on Twitter, and I had no idea they were friends that whole time. Yeah. So I connected with both of them separately at 2 different events when neither of them were together.
Yo, that's oh my god! It's just like a stack of just crazy things. They were just stacking and stacking and stacking. It's like
But then we all met at the pool party. The rest is kind of history. Then now we're got a lot of shows coming up. It's pretty sick though to think about.
You know, it makes sense because life started in the ocean. Like a pool party being like the start.
He's like, where is this going?
A pool party being the start of the life of the Mont Music Collective. It just makes sense.
Oh, dude. No, okay. He's trying to go on the Lord. So before I found you guys, I had wanted, of course, to throw events, but it's hard to find anyone who's serious, which I'd say I'm grateful for y'all, and I'd say like y'all should be pretty grateful that like y'all have like a solid core. Yeah, a solid core to find people who are just like committed to anything in general, or people who just so down. I think y'all have the love for the music, and also have that like that love for throwing events as well. Just that feeling you get whenever you put something together.
Yeah,
it's hard to find people that like have that, And before I had met you guys. Well, no, I hadn't met y'all. It was the pool party, but like I said, we went on hiatus for a minute, and I was trying to throw something else, and Chill was kind of just, he wasn't really ready to throw something else, at the time being, and I really hadn't connected. Like, I met y'all, but we weren't, like, close or anything at that time, so I didn't really know how to reach out. So I was, like, trying to get a couple people together to throw some stuff, and didn't work out. But
they weren't about it?
No. But the name was honestly, I'm glad I didn't stick with it. It was OmniWave. That was the name that I stuck with.
Oh, like of the organization?
Yeah.
I like it though.
Like OmniWave Presents, because it was like, but it was gonna be .wave.
Oh wait, wait.
Like so, like a wave file.
Yeah.
But also like a wave.
Well, wait, how is it like written on a flyer?
So it would have been Omni, like multi.
So like Omni.wave.
Yeah. Like multi-directional, Like it's like Omni is like all encompassing.
I actually really like that.
Like
actually,
wave.
It sounds like
it's not.
I'm almost like shit. I don't even know if we should be announcing that on the podcast.
Right? Like keep that under whole
like,
separate.
Whoa! That's like the fucking. That shit's in the fucking idea archive that's locked behind a password that nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? But I like it. I think it's cool. It's unfortunate that the other people couldn't connect with the idea enough to. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Yes, man. Hey,
but I get you though. But yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I'll go back to what he said. Like you can't control some things, so control. The worst things are the things you can't control. Am I right?
Typically, the worst things are the things that are out of your control. So,
how'd you get into music though? Like, what made you start producing? What was it a show? Were you into the music before you went to your first festival, or was it like a scenario? You went to your first festival, as people doing like, holy shit.
It was a combination of things: drugs, a girl, and festival.
Tale as old as time, am I right? Tale as old as time.
The combination of those three things hitting me like at the same time. I went to like my second festival, 2017, and I rolled for my first time. And
which festival?
Something Wicked,
Oh shit!
Doesn't even exist anymore. It was the last Something Wicked, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it was
I went
before
to the last one.
Freaky Deaky. If you didn't know, used to be Something Wicked.
My role hit me when I was listening to like San Holo, and I'll never forget. It was like light came on, and like I was like not peaking, but I was coming up, and I was like with my uncle and like some of my closest friends, even still to this day. And like we all rolled for the first time that day, and I'll never forget just like all of us knowing that like we've now crossed the line into like the rest of our lives as far as like this experience goes. Because like when you roll for the first time, you're like, for the rest of my life, like in a sense, over time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're like not only because it's like not only are you doing that, but you're also like at this festival listening to like this fucking music that's making you feel like you've never felt before. And just the fact that like discovering that like that place existed, even though like I didn't know it existed before, I like had like a lot of things that were like going on. I think a lot of artists behind like the things that drive them to becoming like an artist is like a lot of like troubles and like strife, and like I don't think that I'm different in that. I like gotten arrested, and then like I came from like a good family, so like after that it was like very difficult for me to like have a presence, like because the expectations that were set for me were like definitely disappointed. I think like my closest family members are like a fucking lawyer, fucking doctor, like like literally like it's like kind of funny and ironic, but like that's like the people that were in the family with me, and the other people above them are also successful, so it's like I had a lot of pressure. So I think when I went to that festival, I like broke through the pressure because I fucking knew in my fucking soul, like despite what all of them have been through, none of them have been here, and like I know like this is something that's unique. Like I can take this and run with it, and that's like basically exactly what I did. I fucking learned how to shuffle because like just listening to music wasn't enough, so I learned how to fucking like dance music in a way that like I could have a lot of fun with. And then when that wasn't enough, I like wanted to learn how to make music, and like that's like a whole thing. Like fucking, I learned how to make music with like Chill, who we keep talking about, like me and him. I'll never forget. Yeah. Well, I don't want to like say anything just in case he becomes someone in the future, but he was doing some things and then he came up with this idea.
I love that.
He came up with this idea. He had this melody stuck in his head after he did a few things. And he asked me, he was like, "Yo, I have this melody stuck in my head. Like, is there any way I could like cuz I had like messed with FL Studio before in the past, but like never to get anywhere. But I knew at least as much as like if you have the notes, I know how to put them in the computer. He had this melody and he had these notes in his head, and he put these notes in the computer, and it was like whatever, we don't have it anymore. Like a big out of it. But we don't have it anymore. But what that did was like that started us, and we started putting more and more trash into this fucking computer. And then eventually we had someone come over and like show us how to like take our trash and like make it into not trash. And then from there we actually started making like that guy came probably after a few weeks, and I think I was like 19, no job, like no money. All I did, I would go to his house, and like all the shit was on his computer. I would go to his house, we would work on some shit. I would like stay up all fucking night like a fucking crackhead and just work on shit all night, like overnight. And then like when I would get fucking tired, like 8 or 9 a.m., like wake up, I would have like put a bunch of random shit in, and then he would like carve that into like a more musical. He's always been good with. Like that was kind of our process for a while. And so like that's kind of how I got started. We did that for a while, and then eventually like I had my own computer in the house, and I was like my own shit. And
You know what's funny is a Halloween party that y'all did come to, the second one. I'll never forget. I woke up because I like raging headache the night before. I came downstairs and it was like 8 or 9 in the morning. This man's still DJing, or like he might have woke up and started DJing. I don't know, but I just remember him having a bowl and just sparking up and just still spinning. I was like, did you go to sleep, motherfucker? Like, what is going on?
Probably not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No. Someone caught me shuffling. The video was me passed out on that said deck with a blanket and a pillow just on the deck at like 8 in the.
Hey, that's beautiful in a way.
Yeah.
What a perfect night.
Yeah.
That's real shit.
Hey, those are vibes, bro.
Yeah, you were
Those
just vibing hard, bro. He vibed until he couldn't vibe anymore, and then he collapsed.
Yeah,
Pretty
people
well.
don't know.
Yeah.
That's how I live, bro. I do camping festivals. I'm not.
I do
camping
festivals.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about, as long as there's music and I have a place to sleep, I'm vibing. I don't give a fuck. I don't need luxury. It was cold, by the way. That shit was freezing. It was freezing. It wasn't freezing, but it was really cold outside. I don't know why I did that or how that worked, but I did it.
I mean, Nah, I don't have anything honestly, but I feel I feel it though. It's like if it happened to me, I wouldn't have an offense, but I would understand why I did it.
Yeah. It's crazy now though. Anytime, because also that Airbnb was for our friends giving. We threw a rager. There was like 20 of us, and we pitched in for an Airbnb. It was Versace Mansion. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was owned previously by a drug dealer at some
What
point.
year is this?
2018, 2019,
2019. Damn.
2018, 2019 maybe.
Oh, okay, back in the day.
I think it's 2019. Yeah, I think so. We threw a rager,
Damn,
and we
everything was so hopeful back then.
Yeah, 100%.
You're-
Everything kind of went downhill from there, but
No one knew about COVID.
Yeah,
Imagine.
yeah. Literally
Ah,
everything.
shit. Fuck this.
Oh, by the cars and shit. Yeah, I remember that. But we did our friend. What a time.
What a time. What a time.
We literally had our friends giving, and then like just us. It was like a long ass table too. Luckily they had a table that fit 20 people. But we did that, and then it was a long ass table, dude. Like I was like, who the fuck keeps this?
Remarkably long.
Yeah. Only a mansion would have a table this long, because who the fuck's like has a family of 20? There's somebody, but like not many people are eating at a dining room table. But obviously it wasn't. It worked out for us. But then we threw a rager the next day in the party. And now I'm just thinking, man, if I like was where I'm at now, then I would have had DJs at that whole bump, because they had a pool outside, and then there was a lake back, and then there was a deck up top. There was a deck up.
What? Does that place still exist?
I don't know if it's still rented out. Someone might owe it. Let's see.
What 20 people did you get to collab with you? That's a lot of people to throw in.
Yeah. Like I said, but then COVID happened, everything went downhill.
Uh,
Yeah. So, but like there was the deck where I slept on, which would be perfect for like speakers and like the decks, the controller and shit. It would be perfect where the deck is. And then like the backyard's huge.
It sounds like a really good idea, but you gotta talk off.
Backyard's huge, and the house was huge. The house was huge. Like for a house party, that's where you want to have it.
I mean, it could be like a retro event, like a house party event. Like the vision, it's percolating. It's percolating. It's percolating.
I like that. I like
it's
that.
percolating. I don't know how long it'll take. It might be 30 seconds. It could be 30 days, but it'll hit me. But if someone else has a good one before then, it's also fine.
Stanley on. It's kind of far
Yeah.
out of the
If
way.
you're trying to really do it right, it's better for it to be a little out of the way.
Yeah.
You need like the right pool of people to pitch like the right that Project X type vibe. See, that's what I'm trying to sponsor.
There was like 100 rooms, not 100, but there was like probably like 7 rooms.
100 rooms.
There
Holy
was-
shit, you were tripping hard, huh?
Nah. There was like 7 rooms. No, dude, there was so many different rooms though in that shit. It's
I
fucking
had the
actually.
fucking rave goggles on, looking at the door. It's like,
It's crazy though. No matter how big our events get, I'll always look. House parties always have the best.
I mean, which reminds me of like the fucking legendary ass house party that we went to this year. Cause, wait, you didn't go?
I know, cause I had to go to it was my homie's 30th birthday.
Oh.
So it was like, that's I feel like a big thing.
Oh well, shit. Let me click on this tangent.
I was
real
gonna
quick. Let me click on.
Trust me, while I was waiting for my girlfriend, cause she was at work, I was gonna dip by for a little bit, but she
Yeah,
got off
because
early.
you texted me. You were like
She got off early, so I was like, I guess
something
that.
along the lines of, "I'm trying to go," and then I was like, "Yeah, pull up. It's kind of the
I
water's
was.
warm. Hop in." And you were like, "Nothing." And then
Yeah, she got off early, and I was like, fuck, I guess that squashes that idea.
But
Because we were supposed to go
that
there,
shit
so.
was a rager, bro. Like, there was people there, definitely over 100 people in this like kind of small house. Like, it was like very crowded, but in a sense, kind of in a good way, like in an organic kind of way. And then the crazy thing was, it was also like a low key Dobie reunion. Like half the fucking people, not more than that, went to Dobie. So it was like kind of this like, yeah, I did. It was literally that right there, the entire party with a bunch of random people. Yeah, so it was like, and it was like class of like 2013, 12 to like 21. Like, so it was like people all over the spectrum of like the new and the old Dobie. It was interesting. And like the DJs, he had 3 setups in his house. So imagine if there was a setup right here and then like one in a room over there. And then if you had a garage, one in the garage. It like actually worked in a weird way that to have a 3 setup in a house, you know, that's not even that big. And so it was like actually really fucking cool. We packed and it went until 8 a.m. And it was like, I think it peaked at around 4:30. Like it was that type of like vibe.
That's how I know those vibes.
It peaked at 4:30 in like the main room with like fucking bartender and like some of like the most like, you know, it was a mix of like old school and like new EDM. It was really cool. It was like CJ, he played at Genesis. He put on a pretty cool set. Like
What's his name? No, not Bankrupt. That's Peyton, huh?
Yeah, Dankrup is Peyton. DJ is fucking know, but I can't remember. But name is CJ, playing on the Genesis lineup. Yeah, he did a really good set there.
Also, next event we got coming up, Solstice. Honestly, the names we've been coming up with, I like the cohesiveness. We did Genesis, and then we did the. Fuck, it's like not Solstice.
Convergence.
No, there was Convergence. Then there was so it's Convergence. Well, what was right? Eclipse. That's because I was like, it's like Solstice. I was like, it's not.
Yeah, we did. Oh yeah, we did Genesis, Convergence, Eclipse, Solstice.
Yeah.
All names. What you know? We had the think tank on the names though.
We did have the think tank.
Even Solstice was think tank. It was like we came up with Solstice before even Eclipse.
Yeah.
It just so happened to be like the day of the solstice, or like the day before.
But yeah, actually, our event is on the day of the solstice.
Yeah, which is like pretty crazy. It just
because we had the idea already there.
We already pre-planned to name it that, and it just so happened to line up with it, you know. And that's what I was saying like earlier, which is like the things that are out of control always like, or not always, but consistently line up when it comes to this specific project. Like very inspiring. Like I just need to do my part because like a lot of just random shit just works out.
Yeah, I feel like we all play our part pretty well. We all do what we're supposed to do. In a weird way, organically, though.
For sure. I definitely think so. I think pre-Genesis, there was a lot of uncertainty and the anxiety was definitely very prevalent. But I think like with just the way that things have played out and just how much confirmation and how much just I feel like this is yeah. It's just a positive feedback loop. So now it's like pretty, I wouldn't say easy per se. It's like easy is definitely the wrong word because when I say like something like easy, I mean how like the highest level of like your like life resolution is like uncertain. Like this this is like easy in the sense that like I feel like I'm on a certain path as long as I do what I need to do. But it's a lot of work that'll still go into it. But it's like I feel like the hardest thing in life is uncertainty. So I feel like I've gotten enough positive feedback to know as long as I do what I need to do, like me and the people around me will all be successful.
Kind of like the equivalent of. Not saying it's easy in lack of work.
Yeah.
you still got to put in the work and the effort. It's easy that work and effort towards something.
Exactly.
Like there's a cohesiveness to it and like an understanding to it. There's a method to all of it.
Precisely.
Yeah. Which it definitely does feel that way. It's kind of crazy how it did come together. And I feel like you stepping up too, like it just how everything happened, I feel like almost was easy, so to speak, like with Chill stepping down and him kind of being like, all right, guys, gotta fucking get shit together. Guess we gotta make
shit needs to happen. Shit needs to happen. There's a fucking hole. I'm not gonna keep going to Stereo Live with a frown on my face,
dude.
And not do at least a fucking single goddamn thing about it. I swear.
Artists are good. The artists are good, but every time you go to Stereo,
I swear.
You lose a piece of yourself. You're like, God, I don't want to be here.
Like he won't even promote local artists, which is like. As a which to me shows that he's not a producer, like Serene, the owner of Stereo Live, like because he, you know, anyone who's watching this podcast who lives in Houston, who goes to Stereo Live, who doesn't.
It's a podcast.
No, I'm saying anyone who's watching this podcast, I'm breaking this news to them that the person that you always see open is actually the owner of Stereo Live. And
Mike Wazowski?
what's his name? Serene. Well, his DJ name is Serene. He's like a part owner of Stereo Live. He always plays there.
Oh, I remember it used to be Mike Wazowski, and
I don't know what his real name is,
No,
but
there
he goes
used to
by
be-
Serene.
back in the day, there used to be like it was the Mike Wazowski logo, and I think his name was Mike Wazowski, and then
It might be the other owner because I know like both. I think both of them DJ, but I don't want to say that on record. I know like at least one of them, Serene, is like a DJ who's also an owner.
Damn, that's crazy. But it's
the
like,
thi-
yeah, he's not a producer.
But
Probably.
I don't want to like 100% say he's not. But what I will say is that like he has like this platform, right? And like all I can say is that he plays every opportunity that he gets, and what he plays isn't even inspirational. It's like kind of cookie cutter. And I mean, hey, if he's watching this and he hates on me, fucking do better. Like, yeah, but I think that the thing that I really would like is if he just put on local artists on that platform, because it's Stereo Live. It's like everyone's coming there because of the headliner anyway.
yeah.
Just like just give a variety of sounds and artists a chance, because he plays the same sound every time. You play different sounds, that'd be one thing, but it's like, come on, bro. Like,
No, it is tough because going back to we had this conversation too. Like right now we have stereo and then 9 p.m. and then you saw Rise change to Warehouse.
yeah.
Warehouse Live Midtown, and then someone's like, maybe this is gonna be like good for the scene. I was like, you think a place Rise turning into another big corporate business with Sullivan King being the debut artist of you think that's gonna be the breakthrough in the Houston scene? Come on now, let's
Rise
be
never
real.
had good sound though. I haven't been to Rise in forever, just because the few times that I have been there, the sound is like not good. I just can't.
Oh, it's not. The thing is though, I will say, okay,
Yeah, as far as the quality.
I will say this: 9 p.m. when it first started as Ava,
Well, yeah.
big for the culture. Like they did a lot of shit. They were constantly putting on shit, heavy on the locals. Like, I think part of the reason it was so successful, and then they started booking bigger artists, and that also helped. But they were still doing local shit, and then now they don't. During their filler time, I feel like they could be doing more local shit. Not to tell anyone how to run their business, of course. I feel like they're doing. Nah, I'm not going. That's not what it is. They're successful. They're doing fine. Honestly, shouts out 9 p.m. because they do also still put on a lot of good shows.
Yeah,
but
I think they've like explored other avenues, and there's
Yeah.
like low key shit going on.
it's just
Not
like
in a bad way.
it would be nice to have more promoters bring. I get money, business. You have to do what's best for the business to keep the lights
But
on.
it's kind of good for us though.
Yeah. To have the better underground scene would be nice too. Not just like the locals are important. Also, like locals, the local DJs, the local producers, combination of that. But also some up and coming artists that are good that we don't see. I'm tired of seeing the same motherfuckers 5 times a year. It's like oh, they're back in Houston. Awesome. Can we book someone else, please? Is there like another option? Can it not be at stereo? Holy shit.
That's like the problem, because it's like, I think what it comes down to, and maybe this is like kind of arrogance for me to say, but I think a lot of times the people who are making decisions aren't necessarily qualified in like the best way to. I'm not going to say that like I have like the perfect ear, but I'll say that I think just on average, like if you work in music, you're probably better at picking artists. But then if you produce music, you're probably even better at like picking and sourcing artists. So like I think a lot of people aren't even anything, and like I'm not saying that in a negative way, but like when you get that way and you're like a corporate hire, what that inevitably means is you're just looking at numbers. This artist is going to bring in this amount of people. Like, this is like, you're like so far, if you like, what I'm saying, like there's no way to like have the integrity of like really finding interesting artists, culture artists, diversifying your lineup. Like all you need to do is like make your numbers look good. So I think it's kind of on people like us to like challenge them. It's like capitalism, kind of like we need to be the people that use our fucking knowledge of listening to fucking music all day to like actually find good artists, rest the crowd, and like do it better than them. It's like our job. Otherwise, like it just proves that they're right. Have that. Yeah.
What do you what are like your visions for the MMC? Like some goals that you have for the future? Like given what we've done, given what we have coming up and future goals. I don't think we've actually like talked about this way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm interested.
I think one of the reasons why it hasn't been like super discussed is because I feel like we kind of gain wisdom as we grow older, and so it's like, in a sense, it's like I could try to make a decision now about exactly what I think it'll be, but I know like even just tomorrow I'll be better equipped to make that decision. So I think it's like that's kind of what's prohibiting any of us like organically coming to like this is what it needs to be, because I think functionally right now it's operational and I like what it is. It's like we're throwing events, our events have the vibes as people, and we're performing and having good artists, so on and so forth. So I think that's like a good place for us to be in. I think for me personally, and I think my ideas will just like kind of coagulate with everyone else's ideas to like form like one general idea inevitably. But I think for me personally, I'm like kind of excited for like something that like just happened today, which is like talking to this artist named Kostian. Give him a shout out. We'll probably playing at our events eventually. Yeah, I like talked to this artist who like went to our pool party that we were referencing, and he really enjoyed it, and he is basically someone who like got into producing and he's doing really well, basically been on his grind or whatever. So I think for me personally, it's like finding people like that who are producing, who are creating music, and either having them DJ if they know how to DJ or learning to DJ, because just on the record, like DJing is a lot easier than producing, and also just intrinsically producing is something that you go through alone, and DJing is something that you draw from other people. And I think that as a like if you go through producing, you get good alone, that just shows something, because that's what I did, Eric did. That's what I want to see out of a future artist. So I think for me, I want to find artists like that, draw them to like the vision, and then grow a brand that's like irresistible to the public, because it's just like so much good music, good content, good engagement, like just everything is just way better than what the corporate like disconnected like money making capitalistic.
Okay, no, so okay, so I guess agreed, but like I guess with a goal, like not necessarily when I was asking, I was like, what's the goal of mine? I guess with that being said is like pre-COVID, right? You remember the vibes.
Yeah.
Do you feel like vibes pre-COVID were like above the vibes now in terms of like going to shows and shit, like the community vibe?
Kind of hard to say, because like I know mine, but it's like, man, there's like so many variables. It's like I'm getting older for
Yeah.
COVID. I think the thing about COVID is it's so weird because it kind of robbed us of those years experiencing them naturally. It's like I don't know, like transitioning from what, like I guess 23, 24 to like 26, 27. Like I don't know, like if this is just what it feels like to go from my early 20s to my later 20s.
How'd that feel?
You know, so it's like kind of hard to say if it's like pre-COVID. I mean, it could be. I literally don't know. But what I will say is like, I think the vibes have gotten a lot more sophisticated now, but I think they were more abundant back then. It was a lot more accessible. It was a lot easier. Just like if I'm just speaking without thinking about it too much, like that's how I feel. Maybe that's because. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Does feel like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's me. That's so me. I hate that.
But that's the thing. It's like. But it's
Maybe
like
it is us getting older.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, is it COVID or are we just getting older? It's like kind of hard to say.
As a whole, I feel like, not saying the underground scene was huge in Houston pre-COVID, but I will say like I was going to shows that were smaller, but they were still had like good turnout. The energy was there. I feel like now it's almost, if it's not a bigger show, there's a lot less.
Or our show. I mean, I guess there's less people.
Or us.
But
no,
the vibes are there, you know?
Yeah, the vibes are there. I will say shout out. There's one person, just to give credit, Mike Cruz. He just did Among the Haunted Woods. I feel like for a local, doing like a local small fest, just all locals, like there was no big names on there. I saw a bunch of people posting, so that, I mean, that's after that. That's like a hard thing to do.
Hey, shout out to you, Danny, for tracking that, because I have no idea what.
Oh, dude, I track all the local shit.
Yeah, but that's good.
I'm like, definitely. I always analyze shit like that because I'm like, okay, like they're doing their thing, like who's working with who and how's the shit going in the scene.
Hell, yeah.
Just so I also have some, like, not something to go off of, but just like you can't be involved in your local scene. I feel like if you're not involved. Yeah, but
no, for real,
yeah,
for
he
real.
got what I was saying. Fuck you. But
Ears on the ground, baby.
also
Gotta have
ears on the ground,
Yeah,
exactly.
ears-
But also going back to it, what I also meant with like goals and stuff. Do you think like a part of what our organization can become is just like that, bringing that community back? You know what I mean? Not because I feel like a lot of that. This might just also me being old and talking like this, but just like with social media now, people just going to like get the video. I'd be like, I went to a rave, but like bringing that sociability back. You
no,
know,
for
like
sure.
people come to meet friends at our shows, or like people come to just hang out. You know, like something for the weekend. You come, it's a place to chill, maybe catch up with some, you know, and just
Yeah.
actually have that like ability. Like do you remember early stereo or like
Yeah,
9
no,
p.m.?
I remember.
You go.
I
Sometimes
fucking
you just
loved
go to
it.
hang out,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it was a beautiful vibe. I think that's like the end goal. I think because like like because I remember early stereo, it's like in some subconscious sense, I'm trying to recreate like what was the most perfect version of like the most perfect rave culture that I experienced. And I think that's exactly what it is. It's like in a place where you feel comfortable, where you feel like everyone that's there has like passed through this filter of like like this beautiful experience. Where like they're in this place and like they're a nice. Go talk to them. I think shout out Lost Lands feels like this fucking. This is what Lost Lands feels like. It feels like this literally, where like everyone is like someone that you can just randomly go talk to. They'll be nice to you. They'll help you on whatever you need help with. And that's like what I'm trying to not even recreate, because even before I went to Lost Lands, that's what I was on. Confirmed it. It's just like I think that's like exactly something that is like essential to like what we need to be doing. 'Cause that's exactly what was lost from everywhere else. And not necessarily everywhere else. I think 9 p.m. is still kind of good, but like they just don't do enough things. Kind of a little slow with their event.
Yeah, I'd agree. No, I agree. It's tough
I'm
because
controversial.
I feel him though, because it's like with the music and the community, it's one of those things where if you want to keep driving it forward, you kind of do got to take some risks, start doing more local stuff, or getting some of those smaller artists. Yeah, it's easy to, because you're like, this is paying my bills now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm a big proponent of like solving things through like a comms razor. It's like the the most likely thing is the most like likely thing. It kind of explains itself. And so I think what you just said is like probably exactly what happened, right? Like no, I'm not gonna name drop, but whoever owns 9 p.m. got like comfortable, and then he was like, I can do this many shows. I know Disco Donnie, and this is like the recursion that I'll get, and this is like what I can do, and then I can do whatever else on the side. Like what happened. And I think, not to call anyone out, but if you feel called out, that means it's true. It's like that just spurs from like a disconnect from like a love for this, because like ultimately people just need that place that's like at least like if you're at that level at least once a week where they can go and like hang out and like yeah. Yeah. For real, honestly. For real. Exactly. I
but
did appreciate the free criticism.
I get it though. I think it's like one of those things where he was probably like very involved in the scene. That's what brought him up, and then he kind of started his own thing, and then he stopped going to the shows and really stopped being involved. He
Yeah.
gets older. You get as
Yeah,
you
we're
do.
talking about it. Can't be 21 forever.
Yeah, you're running a business now. You're like you're not really involved. You don't really care to be involved because you're like, what does that really get me? But I think you do. Yeah.
I think, if I'm being honest, I think there's not a good way to do both. I think that's like one of the things that I've kind of realized, and it's kind of crazy because it's like I'm not nearly near the level of like any of the professional that you hear every day. But even already, I'm struggling with like concepts like I'm making the music that I got into music to make, and I need to continue making better music. But like I've already accomplished some of what I wanted to do initially, and I think a lot of these artists go through a much grander scale version of that, where it's like they get really good, and then they make like an album or something where they put their whole heart and soul into it, and it's like really good. But then like as soon as it's over, give it like a month, and people are like, "Hey, what's next?" And it's like from an artist's perspective, it's like what you just listened to was like the culmination of like 10 years of actual live experience that's like culminating into music form. And I think you're yeah, exactly. So it's like you're faced with an option. You're faced with like, could I take my long ass time and develop something else that's like super core to my soul, my spirit, which you have the opportunity if your debut album was like amazing. Think Porter Robinson Worlds or something. Like if you like really popped off, you can take your time and wait. But otherwise, you're forced to like, I need to make something to make money to survive long enough to like make the music that I really want to make, like really, really want to make that's like different than like what I have out right now. And I think that's like, it's like almost impossible to like escape that. That's like kind of something that's like, it's not even tragic in a way because like the music they're making isn't bad. It's just like not different enough. And then when enough exactly, when enough of it accumulates, you have people that look at it and they're like, this person's sold out or this person is. And it's like, I guess they did because it's their job. Like, their job is to make music. Like, yeah, exactly. It's like only a select few artists. And even some of those still do. Like, Millennium could not make any more music. He still does. Like, he's still selling out. It's like only a few artists, like, really make a lot of music.
No, but I think he could agree. No, he could agree though. Like 3 albums ago was probably his. What was it, Ashes?
Bro, I think Millennium peaked with Awaken Ashes, but that's what Millennium's like a perfect example of what I'm saying. Like Awaken Ashes,
Like a little bit. Just,
Millennium's like Millennium's like a perfect example of what I'm saying. Awaken Ashes is like probably what Millennium got into music really wanted to make, and he fucking that shit. It was beautiful. And then people wanted more. They were like, "Hey, do it again." And he's
I'll
like,
give you a pop album.
Yeah. And he's like, my soul isn't gonna connect to anything as much as it did with that, unless I'd wait 5 years or so, 3 years, and develop something for a very long time. But you motherfuckers are like, give me something now.
I mean, but you could, you could be Porter though.
But that's what I'm saying. But Porter Worlds was like, I feel like for Porter Worlds was so successful that he had the opportunity to tour Worlds long enough to like not. He just when it comes to music, bro, he just doesn't release music. He like.
Did you know Mariah Carey has a song that sampled Porter?
Yeah, I did. I do know that because I'm a Porter fan. Like that's it's kind of crazy. It sampled "Goodbye to a World."
Yeah, Goodbye to. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
He could still do it to this day.
He did Worlds Live for years.
He could still do it.
Yeah. But you know, for your label, for the tour, like for the shows, like it's like if you can't like really pop off of that first thing that you do, that you pour your soul into, because that first thing is always it's inevitably gonna be a culmination of everything up until then. And I think that's what a lot of fans don't understand, because when you get done with that first thing, it's like a whole new ball game. It's like, okay, now you need to start fresh and come up with something that is not equal but better than your previous thing. And I think, you know, just referencing Porter again, that's why you ended up doing Virtual Self. It's because like it's like you can't do something better. You need to do something different. If you like the highest, I'm a Porter fan.
Virtual Self did one tape. You know, he is.
I'm not gonna get like super deep into it. It's like pointless, but like it's just a good reference point to explain like the point of like World was something that was so good and so respected even by himself internally that instead of trying to do something better, he was like, I'm gonna do something different. And if people appreciate that more, then that's like what it can be. You know,
but he can tour off of that if he wanted. He doesn't, but he only does Virtual Self.
He did.
Did he tour Virtual Self?
He did briefly, and that was probably one of my favorite shows ever. That's why I have it on my car. It's like the Virtual Self live was like.
Have you seen Air to Earth?
I have seen Air to Earth. I've been to Second Sky twice.
I have it. Yeah, I have it. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I'm a
That's true.
fucking
Air to
fan.
Earth was there. Yeah,
I'm
so
a
was
fucking
Virtual
fan.
Self.
Like I would say Porter is what I tell people I got into music for. But when I listen to my music, if I'm being honest, it's more reminiscent of like Kid. Like I think Kid was more of an inspiration for me. I don't know.
Who is Kid? Yeah.
Yeah, who's Kid?
It took me forever to realize. So his name is K?D, and I was like, how the fuck? For the longest, I was like, how the fuck do you say this? And I feel like he has to go through that a lot. But it's who is. Yeah. It's who is Kid.
It takes like you mean black.
Yeah, it's who is Kid, but it's like I did not know. So people are just like Kid, whatever. That's your name, motherfucker.
Yeah, I just call him Kid. But yeah, I
There you
think
go, yeah.
he was like when I listen to my music now, even the current stuff that I make, it's the most similar to him. I listened to a lot of him while I was getting into music, so it makes sense.
Yeah, man, fucking makes a good variety of music. Like he does the hard style, super heavy shit,
Yeah,
a lot of future bass.
yeah, I got into like the future based era first. I'm not at the level yet where I can like recreate for shit like more complex.
Cause he got
Yeah.
years on you probably.
I mean, yeah, he does. He has years and hours for. It's not even like years. It's like hours, right? Like, cause like, how long? Cause he's like he's like crossed the threshold of an artist where he's like had to join a label. He's like kind of the other artist. He didn't have like a blow up initial album or anything like that. So like he had to get to a label. Now he's making a lot of music in a sense. Like he's released consistent singles to a degree, and made a variety of music probably because his label is like, hey, we need this out of you, so to speak. So I think when I was making music, I was listening to him more frequently, but I was connecting to the old pre-blow up Kid, making a lot of his SoundCloud future based stuff.
Yeah, well, they tell you if you ever want to find good music, just go to an artist, your favorite artist. So they say it's still to this day. And also, SoundCloud just started a new thing to where like they pay out their artists pretty decently. Yeah, they pay out like the artists pretty. So SoundCloud. I mean, the thing is SoundCloud. If you're looking for like new music, or like if you're a DJ and you're trying to look for like some records to like fucking throw on that no one's really listening to, that's still the place. Because, you know, some people aren't putting all their shit.
It's like way easier. Also,
you did a really, really good job of finding a spot to cut for us to go use the restroom. So we could have came back and did anything and just been like, and we're back.
all right, but
I'll just say, and we're back.
wait, it'll be kind of cool because I was like, wait, and then pause, and we're back. And
And we're back. We took a little bit of a bathroom break. All right, we're here again. Fucking, if you forgot, which I hope you didn't, small pause. We're here with our boy Evan.
I kind of hope that there's like a part of you that forgets to edit this part out.
won't.
And there's just like 5 minutes of us just not even.
Everyone's just listening. They're listening. They're like,
Hey, you think they're going to come back?
is this done? Did he just
I think the
keep
worst part is they would hear all of our like talk. Or like,
Right, can I tell you something funny real quick? Because I think this. So I was in audio engineering, right? You had one of the classes you can make like songs and shit. So I made one,
oh, for real?
and then when I submitted the file, I forgot to cut it down, so there was just a bunch of extra space for like an hour.
That shit
And then-
happens.
And they played it. And then the professor's like, I think this is the song that was just like an hour, and I was like,
Oh, did you have like an automation very long?
no, it was just like because there was like
in
an
front of the class.
But no, it's because the way that the professor, no,
That's
kind of
hilarious.
offense. Like the professor, the way that he like did instructions
We're
and
here
shit.
to offend people.
The way he did like the instructions and shit, like he would have you do like a marker at some point and do all this shit. But then when you submitted it, you have to cut down and actually exclude all that. I was like, what's the point of doing all this extra?
What software
Just-
were you using?
It was like to learn, but like we only submitted a certain portion of it. We were using fucking the worst software. It was
Pro Tools, Logic.
Pro Tools.
Oh, Pro
yeah.
Tools, yeah,
Pro
yeah,
Tools
yeah.
to produce. Like who the fuck is using
Apparently,
Pro Tools to produce?
audio engineer. A lot of people use Pro Tiers.
It's the
my dad
industry
always
standard.
tells me about.
It's the industry
I don't know.
standard. It's the industry standard for studios. But it's like
He's probably gonna
the thing is though, it's like nowadays it's like who you can use any DAW.
Yeah.
mostly for the most part. You know what I mean? You don't need to use Pro Tools for that shit anymore. I don't know. Like I don't know. You ever say on the Doll Wars, everyone's always like FL Studio sucks. Ableton's better.
Yeah, I mean,
Logic Pro.
I've seen my idols. I would say like Porter and Kid. I've seen them both.
Ableton.
No, they both use FL Studio actually.
Do they really?
Yeah. So I mean, the thing that I would say about the Doll Wars and then the Matinee Koshin actually him. That was actually.
Talk a little bit.
We'll be able to work together pretty easily.
Thank you.
Because yeah, I think FL Studio or any of the DAWs, it's more so just about what level of efficiency can you get to before you give up on it in a sense. And I think once you get to the level where you can make a whole project in one day, which is definitely possible on FL Studio, like I won't say easily, but like the biggest thing that's holding you back isn't your actual movement in the DAW, it's your brain like coming up with ideas that are like actually
this works.
Exactly.
This
you know,
works.
it's like if you came up with all the right ideas, which happens when you're like in the flow state, which is like a thing, you know, then you can like come up with a song, like an entire like framework for a song in like 3 to 4 hours, maybe 5, you know? And it's like if you can do that, in FL Studio, then that's like all you need as a producer. And so I think it's just kind of about how comfortable do you get in whatever DAW. I will say I think objectively Ableton is a little bit easier to use. But I think there's a lot of really amazing producers who produce in all sorts. I know when I took lessons from this producer named Anki. I don't know if any of you've ever heard of him. Anki.
I thought you said donkey. I'm sorry.
What is he out of? Like, do you know what state he's out of?
He's like out of Europe, but he has like some really good remixes, and he's like on like 7 Lions, I think, remix album. He's someone who I actually really liked before I even took lessons from him, because I had listened to some of his remixes on SoundCloud, and they were like amazing. And yeah, he used man, the name of the software is escaping me, but it wasn't even Ableton. It wasn't FL Studio. He used some like backwater software to produce, and it was like you got to load all your synthesizers in there. It was like super foreign. But that's when I realized like it doesn't really matter what you use. It's kind of about your dedication. How comfortable do you get in what you're using to get efficient enough to like make something quickly. Once you get to that level, it's kind of hard to leave. That's what I would say about the DAW. I'm Team FL Studio. Respect to Ableton, because I know that if I started, it would probably be better to use. But like Ableton, and it's prettier.
Do you have any finished songs? Do you have any songs that you finished and?
Yeah, I have like a lot of songs that I've released, but I wouldn't say that I have any songs that I don't think that I'm good enough yet to finish any songs. But I mean, I think that's just.
Isn't that part of it though? Like you gotta at least. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like
I don't know.
Well, this is like how it goes, because like it's like you're working on a song, and you're using the skills that you've accrued up to that time, right? But like as you're working on the song, you actually learn. And then by the time you finish the song, you know, like, make something better than this, because I learned a lot while I was making this. And then you make the next thing, and it's like the same thing over again. And then like you can try to go back to like improve your old songs, but like you're working on like a fucking broken framework. It's like a lot harder to like improve older songs, which I've done a lot of, don't get me wrong. But it's like I can't make them perfect, at least with my skills, because it's like a lot easier for me to make something way better from scratch.
Like that old idea came from a different place.
Yeah, it's like the mixing. It's like the actual kind of math of like the sound. It's like the way that I stage everything, the way that the sounds are introduced. It's like everything fundamentally just needs a lot of work overall. But if I go to a new project, I can set everything up way better, and it's like way cleaner, and it's like a lot more efficient at getting a better product.
It's almost like more difficult to fix this than it would be to just create something new with the lesson that you learned from
because you're also kind of working in and this might sound weird, but you're kind of working within a level of like perceived randomness when you're making songs, because like you're turning knobs, you're doing things, and you gain experience at what these knobs do and what kind of creative outlets you have. But a lot of times if you ask producers, even some of your probably your favorite ones, like they'll be like, I don't even know how I made this. Like, like a lot of times it almost feels like you get possessed in a fucking
Shit just
day.
came to me.
Yeah,
type
and you
shit.
just turn shit in the right way, and there's just so many different things that you turn in like the perfect way to get to like the perfect type of vibe, and then like you create on that vibe, and then like after it's over, it's like a fucking fever dream. What? Like, and that can be kind of interesting because you know it's because then it kind of goes to, it's hard to go back. And when you're not in that fever dream, work on the fever dreams and make them better. Because it's like you were on a certain wavelength, on a vibe, like turning something here changes something else there that you need to like change there, which changes something else. So it's like it's kind of hard to finish. But I don't think right now I have any songs that I would say are fit. You know, like my newest songs, like sometimes.
But you do have release songs.
I have a lot of release on SoundCloud. I have one release song on Spotify that I did with good homegirl of mine. Yeah, that one's on Spotify, and that's like a song that all the vocals, everything was created in house. So yeah, I think outside of that, every other thing that I've been working on my production with has been a lot of remixes, because I think as a producer, what I struggle with personally, I love vocals, but I struggle to find vocalists. Not a lot of people who just overall are just doing music at my, I won't say at my age, but I'll just say in general, but at my age it's harder to find them, I think. And because of that, I think it's hard to get that vocalist that's like in the studio with me, I can work on a song with, I can create vocals with, I can create a full musical production with. So instead I just like remix a bunch of songs. Take vocals because I want to work with vocals, and then I like make the music around them because I want to work on that skill set.
That is
Work with what you got.
It is hard though. Like I was thinking about that. Like when I was in school too, I was like, damn, this is a good place if I did make music, because I was an audio engineer, just specifically. Until I realized I'm gonna need more money in order to do all those things that I really go to school and you learn that, and then you're like, oh shit, dude, half of these equalizers and compressors are
All the plugins are they cost money.
fucking expensive.
They're expensive,
dude.
yeah.
Super expensive.
Yeah.
But then I was like, man, like this is a good place to find like vocalists and people like that are going to school for that, or like at least like choir, or do it in their spare time. Those
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, there's also, even if you were to take that large sample people doing it, the amount of people that would be willing to like dedicate their time to a project.
Yeah.
That's not just them doing whatever
Yeah,
they're doing,
like
like
the-
a separate project. You know?
The girl that I worked with was like one of my like best friends at the time. It's like she was like in like the group of ravers that we all got into raving together. It's like that's the type of connection it takes to like create something with someone. So it's like kind of hard to find someone randomly unless they really, and I mean really, stand on business.
Different stuff. I think it's not plugged in, so that would be why.
Nice. All right, then yeah, just keep that on. Then you're good. Fucking crushing it. But yeah, being with that said, finding a vocalist is it's a really tough thing. Honestly, in music in general, just finding your tough thing. Like the whole industry of what we're doing, I think it's a constant learning process. I think we haven't even scratched the surface of all the things we're gonna have to go through. And even then, I kind of want to touch on it earlier. Was I think something that I've realized is everything that we've thrown, there's always been like something, like not necessarily like a big thing, but something that we've had to overcome. You know what I mean? And I don't think that ever at any given point, especially in industry. Like even the last one, where it was like we were supposed to start at a certain time, we had to push back like 2 hours because there's a whole other event going on. You know?
Yeah.
There, it was stressful. I mean, we made it happen. And
The
it
power
worked
was
out.
going in and out.
Dude.
I mean,
Yeah.
when we say it like that, it kind of sounds bad, but you know, it worked out.
It did work out. Like it's something you just gotta like power through. And luckily, you know, we're still on such a ground floor level. It's not like we're working with people that we're spending thousands of dollars on, to where if that were to happen, it would be a lot more detriment. You know, the situation at hand at the like that was it. But
Yeah.
it did suck for like the first 2 or
Yeah, I mean, but they still did well. I mean, it wasn't like the people. Luckily, I think our like fans, or the crowd, whatever, it was like nice. They were like chill about it. And luckily it stopped towards the end because
Oh yeah.
that would have been bad to deal with the whole time.
And we, met that one dude that was fucking crushing it doing.
Oh my
IDM.
god, yeah, that dude, the dude who came up to me and was like, "Hey, so, yeah, hey, can I come on?" You know, he's like, "I humbly ask you if I could like DJ a little bit," and like we had our lineup, so I didn't want to just let him cut in front of someone else. So I told him, you know, hey, we have our lineup or whatever, so I can't just let you get on. And then lo and behold, you know, the next people that come on, they don't have their shit together. They're like completely unprepared, and you know, we're in a kind of a panic situation because I've already been playing for like a little bit longer than like I kind of wanted to or intended to, and also it's like one of those situations where timelines are getting disrupted. So I need to go solve or help solve the problem, and I also need the music to continue, and so I have no choice but to go back to the same guy who just asked and ask him, hey, you have your USB? It gets your time. And yeah, he was actually extremely skilled. I would say he's one of the most skilled DJs I've ever seen with my own eyes, if not the most skilled DJ that I've ever. Well, like when I say the most skilled, and when I say with my own eyes, I mean like actually really watched. I've seen a lot of DJs, but often they're above me, so I can't see them, you know, and stuff like that.
Talking about like from like over his shoulder.
Yeah, I'm talking like really watched where his hands, like how he was operating it, and he had a very interesting, unique style. And
just watching like his thought process.
exactly,
like
exactly,
that.
like getting synced into his flow, and then like watching like and being a part of how unpredictable it was, and how consistently skillful it was. It was like, and how expressive it was. It was like he wasn't really wasting. He was like kind of making that mixer his bitch. I'm just gonna say. I don't know how else to say it. It was just like he was doing a lot. He was making it like a toy, and I kind of been feeling that way personally recently as I've been playing with it a lot more. But he was like kind of on to be honest, another level. To be honest,
It was crazy because that guy came out of nowhere.
Yeah, to be
he
honest.
was just like, he's like, "Can I play? I got a USB." Like, this isn't that kind of party, dog. Like, you can't.
Yeah,
just
Can't
hook up.
just jump up here.
But then yeah,
yeah,
just
but
getting
actually
him on
you
there.
can.
And he crushed. Honestly, we were all just like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Does anybody know this guy?
And supposedly, I mean, not to throw his airs out all his business, but guy does like a microdosing CrossFit. Apparently, like he does microdosing and teaches you CrossFit.
What? That's so interesting.
That's a sick ass class.
That's so
He's like, I
interesting.
also do. If you want, we do a quick microdose, and then I teach. I
Quick
teach
microdose.
Does everyone
CrossFit.
have their magic mushrooms?
I was like-
and their fucking yoga mat.
And I was like, what? Like that is.
That's
crazy.
a fire combo, though. Honestly, now that I'm
Yeah,
thinking about it.
microdosing and fucking CrossFit. Hey, shit. In the future, that's gonna be a whole nother fucking thing. You know
Yeah,
how they
maybe
do,
he's on. Yeah, I mean,
There's
maybe
a thing
we
there.
shouldn't
I
even be.
think there's a market there for sure.
Maybe, did we just give away his like intellectual property?
No, I think we just put him on.
We might have put him on, actually.
Hey,
Yeah,
future
yeah. What's
event-
more likely, right?
You know how, like events and shit, they do the workshops. That'll be the one. We'll hire him and he'll do one of our workshops. I don't know if you want to do CrossFit.
As seen on Fine and Dandy.
Bro, you know, honestly, that's like a genius idea. Because you know the way that I would define genius, I think the most important thing with genius is that it's like most importantly it's like different and unique and it's undone. I think that's like first, and then like and could it work? And if the answer is yes, then it's like qualifies to be genius until it's tested. It's like for like Schrodinger's genius. It's like we need to now actually try it and see. Because like
open the box.
I can say personally, I have a lot of people in my circle who might be interested in something like unironically, like microdosing and doing yoga. Like they're like the type of bougie psychonaut that might be into something like that.
Bougie psychonaut, I like that.
Like
I like nice things and drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate for that.
really can't. Really can't.
Yeah, well, I think we'll wrap it up there. Is there anything you want to tell the people? Anything inspirational? Anything on your mind? It could be anything. Any type of message. Is there something you want to tell the people before we sign off?
Well, to anyone who's watching this who's like been out to any of our shows, I just want to say first and foremost, keep going to our shows. And then,
Yeah, bitch.
no, actually, first and foremost, thank you for your support. But like, secondly, like, continue to support us, please. To everyone else,
With that.
to everyone else, thank you for listening. These are like pretty intelligent gentlemen, and thank you guys for having me. It was really cool to get to like kind of say my piece, so to speak. And yeah, it was fucking great. It was a good time, and hope to do this again 5 years from now. I think that'll be cool. I think that'll be cool.
We can do it again before then.
No. Well, maybe I should set it at a different time.
3. Let's do 3. Let's say 3.
Yeah, I was thinking 3, but it's like maybe I don't want to set a time. It's like I want to do this again
Organically.
when
I think that's a good idea.
When we are where we're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? And then that'll kind of be like the victory lap, fine and dandy. You know what I'm saying? Coming back. Get on the haters, you know what I'm saying?
Shit on all of them,
you know what I'm saying? Like, like this is the outro track, kind of come back, So, yeah.
You gotta be on a roll like Cottonelle and just be made for all of this shit.
On a roll like Cottonelle, made for this
Shout
shit.
out Drake's
Oh, and before I forget, if you're listening to this and by chance you fucking make music, hit me up.
Hell yeah. Wait, where can they hit you up at?
Oh, you can hit me up at... I think of what I give
out. Am I dropping?
Yeah.
Okay,
Actually, if you're the real deal, this is how you'll hit me up. Hit me up on SoundCloud at 8 Souls.
Bet. Also,
yeah, dude. Are you about that fucking life or not? What's up? No Twitter, no Instagram. Find me.
Find me on SoundCloud.
Also, follow our Instagram, the Mont Music, at the Mont Music on Insta. We'll have all of our events there. We got a lot coming up. We have some multi-genre events coming up in the future. We're fucking about to start crushing it, you guys. For the vibes, support the underground. No. Not that.
Why would he even say some shit like that?
Yeah.
He said multi-genre, dude. I don't know. I was just trying to
people
keep it
will be having the craziest ideas.
I thought we were inclusive around here, dude. I don't know.
We are.
Just not that.
Or not. We're just there's lines to be drawn at all times, and
we're trying to create a vibe here.
We are.
Support the underground.
We're trying to build a following.
Exactly. Catch a vibe. Come out. You'll have a good time. I promise.
Yeah,
it's always a good time. This episode should drop right before our event. So come out. $10. The Hub. 6425 long drive. I got that memorized just so you motherfuckers can come out. Yeah, Evan, me, say hi. While we're out there, we'll both be there. We'll be with the Mont.
Drop the date again.
December 22nd on a Friday. Friday, December 22nd.
What time to what time?
Doors are at 9, and I believe we're going until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
There are some afters, I
You've
think,
been
going
promoting
on.
shows for years now.
Yeah.
Learn how to promote
doors,
a show.
Doors are at 9. We're going till 2. And on an off chance that you love country and you're mad that I said that I hate country, come to the show and let me know.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us for another beautiful week of Fine and Dandy. Thank you for coming on, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Follow him at
8
Souls on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you guys next week. Fuck yeah.
Later.